picture this. An individual is in danger, you immediately step into action and you save a life. But instead of a thank you, that results in you in getting in trouble with the law. Unbelievable, right? It was around 2:30 a.m. when a former police officer, now driving for Uber, saw a pickup truck swerving in and out of the road. He called 911 and started describing what he was seeing. Without thinking twice, the man stepped in to help when he saw that the truck driver was stumbling across oncoming traffic. The man handcuffed the driver, grabbed his keys, license, and bottles of alcohol, and waited for the cops to show up. 17 minutes later, the cops arrived. They let go of the truck driver and arrested the man who helped. He was then charged with impersonating a police officer. This happened in Texas 2024 in the Hughes versus Garcia case, according to the United States District Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit. The man had good intentions. He helped the person during a car crash, and the court came after him and not the person causing harm to the citizens. What's the justification for disciplining the good guy in this case? You're brave enough to step in, whether it's for a small or big situation, but imagine every time you help someone, you have a possibility for liquidation. How many would hesitate to help, and how many lives are we losing every day because of fear, court, and punishment? As a future nurse in our society, and just as an individual who cares about fairness and justice, I have done some research on cases that put heroes at risk instead of thanking them. The system frequently betrays those who step in to help, disciplines braveness instead of honoring it. But as a society, we can make a change to this problem by educating the public, helping and protecting each other, and most importantly, using our voices to create a world where we honor those brave ones instead of muting them. The system frequently betrays those who step in to help instead of encouraging them and honoring them. Why? To this day, these heroes who step in to help and act right during emergencies still face some pretty serious risk. According to the United States District Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit, when police officers arrived at the scene, they let go of the drunk driver and arrested the Good Samaritan Hus. This is a huge systematic problem. The Samaritan laws in many states only discuss the protection against medical professionals. What about the citizens? That leaves them vulnerable to fines, charges, and lawsuits when they're only helping with good intentions. Our current legal system dissuades bravery and fails in so many ways to protect humanity and those with good intentions. Let's take a look at Van Horn versus Doherty case. Lisa was driving behind her friend Alexandra in LA when her friend lost control of her car and crashed. Lisa was so scared that the car was about to catch fire, so she ran over to her friend's car, opened the door, and pulled her friend out. Alexandra then sued Lisa for making her injuries worse. According to Time magazine, the court found Doherty was not protected from legal action under California's Good Samaritan laws. These cases are not a mistake or misunderstanding. It's a deeper issue within the system. If we want to protect those who helped, then laws need to be changed and clear about who's protected by it. To fix this problem, why don't we start protecting those saviors that sacrifice themselves, not only through public awareness, but through federal laws that define and cover them from any lawsuits and court punishments. According to the AMA Journal of Ethics, Good Samaritan legislation was initially directed towards physicians who came upon an ailing victim outside of a hospital setting. Originally, it was only covering medical professionals, but in some states that has expanded to cover anyone who helps an emergency. According to the American Association of Retired Persons, a nonprofit organization states that Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Delaware have laws that protect those who help, and only healthcare workers are protected from liability in Kansas and Missouri. According to the National Library of Medicine, Connecticut, Michigan, Illinois, and Kentucky have laws that define those covered under the Good Samaritan immunity that limits protections to individuals trained in standard first aid. Because of the lack of protection, we can understand why so many individuals hesitate to help and why so many lives are left at risk. Being aware and educated is a powerful tool to these citizens. In addition to fair police interaction, a number of studies have found a lack of awareness about existing GCL and how it's one of the main factors limiting their impact. Moreover, even people who know about the GCL are often still hesitant to help because they're unsure about the protection afforded by the law, according to a study done in health research and policy systems. But changing the law and educating people isn't good on its own. We need to make sure that people feel safe when helping. We must live in a world where we don't have to pay the price and get punished and dragged to court for doing something good. According to the American Heart Association, 25% of those who surveyed had never heard of the Good Samaritan immunity. This survey taken by people is a great example that being educated is a powerful tool to these citizens. All of us are aware that many people hesitate to help in emergency because they're not educated enough and are not aware of the laws. Here's what we can do. You can write a letter to your state representative asking them to promote the Good Samaritan law to make it clear and inclusive to all citizens. You can find representative contact information on health.gov/representatives. You can sign a petition that calls for public education and awareness and explaining the law and protection to all citizens. You can start one on openpetition.org, or you can sign support Good Samaritan law reform on change.org. The goal of this petition is to make it clear and inclusive to all citizens. Nevertheless, we all have a voice we can use. Like Angelina Jolie said in her Academy Awards acceptance speech, I have never understood why some people are lucky enough to be born with the chance that I had to have this path in life, and why across the world there's a woman just like me, with the same abilities, same desires, same work ethic and love for her family, who would most likely make better films and better speeches. Only she sits at a refugee camp. She has no voice. She worries about what her children will eat, how to keep them safe, and if they're ever allowed to return home. I don't know why this is my life, and that's hers. Let's all remember, we all have a voice we can use. It's all up to us to protect those who can't, to stand up for fairness, and to stand up for justice. From now on, let's be the generation that fights for their rights to be clear, and where courage is not punished, but protected.